I'm Lauren Lee and today I'm at Hart's farm in Shoreham in the Mornington Peninsula hinterlands. It's a cold day down here today, so I'm really excited to try some of their warm apple cider. Let's go. Hi Graeme, you're one half of the founding members of Hart's farm.
Correct,
right?
yes.
Tell me a little bit about how you got started.
We had always had a long history of association with my family on the Mornington Peninsula, down particularly around Shoreham, and our daughter got a horse.
Okay.
The horse needed a paddock.
Of course.
And I thought somewhat naively at the time that the paddock should pay for itself somehow.
Right.
So after looking around and trying to think about whether we'd plant vineyards or what have you, we ended up deciding that olives would be the thing to do. So for the first 18, 20 years or so, we concentrated on the olives, and we're still making excellent quality extra virgin olive oil. But about 10 years ago, we also thought, well, how do we value add to the property? What can we make? So we looked also at the history of the peninsula, and of course it's been a very big apple growing area for many generations. So we decided that we would venture into apple cider. About 2010, we planted our first apple trees, and we selected a collection of about 10 or 12 different heritage apple varieties that would give a good, high quality, traditional type of apple cider. We have about 15 varieties of apples planted, plus we have 4 or 5 different varieties of pear and 2 quince. Altogether we have about 350 apple, pear and quince trees planted here now. And so we use the fruit from those trees, plus some fruit from some of the other apple growers who've also got traditional varieties down here on the peninsula. And we're now making a variety of different traditional craft style ciders. All of these are what we call bottle conditioned. So that means after we do the primary fermentation in our stainless steel vessels, we then let that mature. We try to get a bit of French oak, either from staves or barrels, and we blend the different varieties of ciders together and then get some extra apple juice, and we backfill the cider so that we can get a different quality of sweetness. So this 2018 dry cider won the Best in Class gold medal at the national show last year, so we're pretty happy with the quality of that one. The others have usually won at least a bronze medal or better.
So I understand you have some new machinery that you're using now. Maybe we could go have a look at it?
Yes, sure. It's the christening day, so it's been a few little teething problems, but we now have it running pretty smoothly. And it's Hungarian equipment from Marajeb, and I'd love to show you.
Wonderful, let's go have a look.
This is a bit of a mess at the moment because we're in the middle of setting up our new production line, but these tanks are both our olive oil storage tanks and fermentation vessels. We have stainless steel tanks with floating seals so that we can keep the oxygen out and let the maturation occur slowly. Pretty slow at this temperature, it's 6 degrees today.
Very cold.
We often will add some French oak to the tank, or we have some French oak barrels that we use for maturing some of the cider in as well to get a little bit of extra character. So the fruit gets tipped into a hopper outside, which comes up through the wall and then dropped onto the conveyor belt so that we can check for any flawed fruit that will potentially taint the quality of the cider. Then it goes into the wash bath. The elevator takes it up. In that section here is a large rotating blade and hammer mill that smashes the apples into a pulp. Then they come down here into this continuous belt press, which will process about 600 kilos of fruit per hour. The dried pulp comes here, straight into the receptacle for taking back out to the horses or the chooks,
yes,
or into the compost. And then all the juice comes out and gets pumped straight through into the tank with minimal exposure to oxygen. So it's reduced our manual handling enormously, and will enable us to produce a lot more high quality cider.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Enough talking, let's get into tasting.
Let's do it. So Graeme, tell me a little bit about your cellar door experience here at Hart's Farm.
It's a very personable one, and we spend our time explaining and having a lovely conversation with people as they come. All of these are pretty much handmade, and because they're bottle conditioned, they have and use traditional fruit, and they have slightly different characteristics than some of the other ciders which are on the market today. Some people feel that cider is not for them because it is too sickly sweet in their experience. These ciders and most of the ciders on the peninsula are definitely not in that category, and well, as you'll see with this first one, it's bone dry. There's no residual sugar in that one at all.
Right.
So you should get lovely apple on the nose. You should get some of the other characteristics of the tannins and the sharpness. Traditional cider varietals are characterised as being in the bitter, sharp, sweet, or a combination of those. And so we've selected varietals here from England and from France, which display a mix of those characteristics so that we can blend and tailor the mix to suit. So
lovely.
So with this one you get the fruit, you get a little bit of that crisp sharpness, little bit of apple tartness, and then a lovely sort of soft aroma in the palate.
The aroma afterwards is it's quite explosive almost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very nice.
So the next one we'll try is the dry cider. This is pasteurised as opposed to the first one, which has just enough sugar for the yeast to make carbonation and then they die. We pasteurise this in order to maintain the carbonation level and the degree of residual sugar. So this one is a different year of fruit and has a slightly different characteristic. So you get a slightly different aroma in this one than And as I said before, this one was best in class gold medal at the national show last year.
Right. It is very nice.
Yeah.
I can almost imagine having a nice cheese with it.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, many of these ciders are really great accompaniments for food.
It's very different.
Still lots of apple coming through. Some crispness and sharpness from a little bit of residual acidity, and that lovely quite floral nose.
Yes, very tasty.
This one's our medium dry, Lauren, and this one is the sweetest of the conventional ciders that we make. Still in the mid-range of sweetness, so it's certainly nowhere near any of the commercial sweet varieties. And once again, we've aimed this at the mid-palate. Very popular, it appeals to the majority of the palates.
Very nice.
The next one we'll try is what we're calling our apple, pear and quince. And this one is unique to us again. And we aim this at the sort of Prosecco market. This is not a champenoise style really because it's not riddled. There is still a yeast sediment in the bottom of this.
Right. I'm very excited to try this one.
It has an apple base. The pear gives it a lovely smooth mouthfeel. And the quince has an astounding aroma that comes through. Apple, pear and quince are all cousins, so we're family reunion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, this is definitely my favourite one so far.
Yeah, so this is it's a lovely fruity drink, and actually this is now about 18 months in the bottle, and it's just improving with age all the time. All right, Lauren, this next one is also unique to Hart's Farm. We went to Normandy last year where they make a cidre rosé. Rosé just meaning pink.
Yes.
And they make that out of pink-fleshed apples. We don't have any of those here, or at least not enough to make cider from. And because I wanted a blush cider, I've mixed this with Pinot Noir. So this Pinot Noir came from grapes from a friend over the road, and we made our first barrel in 2019. And so we've mixed this in with the cider, and it actually makes a lovely, fresh, very fruity, flavoursome, perfect summer drink by the pool.
Lovely.
Yeah,
yes.
but and it's been remarkably popular. We originally only going to do it as a small batch, but it's been so popular we'll put it on the main line now, I think.
Oh yes, yes, definitely. I can see why. That is delicious.
Yeah, so fruit, a little bit of sweetness, but still balanced with a nice crisp acidity. You still get the characteristics of the Pinot coming through.
It's very nice. Yeah, lovely.
The second last of the ciders is our spice cider. I'm going to get you a warm one.
Oh, very nice.
So you can heat this just in a water bath, in a pot on the or a saucepan on the stove, or in a microwave-proof vessel in the microwave, just up to a low coffee temperature. Obviously, you don't have it in the microwave with the lid on.
No.
It'll blow up.
That would not be good.
Mix this with a little slice of orange on top. Feed up in front of the fire in the winter.
On a day
Very
like
nice.
today.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, that smells amazing.
So you get all the aromatics of the spices. Obviously, when they heat up, they become much more apparent and.
Oh, that is perfect. Yes. Very, very nice. Oh, I don't know if I can choose my favourite anymore. This is too good.
The last one is the Cidre de Glace. So once again, that's I think a unique experiment. This is like an after-dinner sticky wine, except obviously with apple cider as its base, not wine. It runs around 10% alcohol, so it's not as sweet as some of the Sauternes and other after-dinner wines, but it's a lovely aromatic, balanced by a little bit of acidity still, but it's really nice as well to finish off a meal. And it's great with cheeses, and so some of the drinks are really great with accompanying of food, and this one's particularly nice with cheese, as is the apple pear and quince.
That is very smooth.
It's a lovely, quite well-balanced drink, I think. You know, I have a background in science, so this is like a giant chemistry prac for me.
Right.
And being down here in the country is such a wonderful release from all the pressures of the city.
Absolutely.
To get out in nature and prune the trees and do the weeding and get involved with all of this. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for sharing all these with us today. They were incredible and really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren. It's been lovely to meet you, and I'm glad you've enjoyed our little offerings.
Oh, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.